Hello and welcome to the Bentleigh Report. It is February 2020. My name's Gary Peer.
I'm Leon Guzenfitter.
You are indeed, and there's so much going on, Leon. It is just unbelievable how the market compared this year to last year's performing. Let's just talk a bit about that.
Well, the market is back and in a big way, Gary. There is just no doubt that we had a complete 180 from this time last year.
So what was happening this time last year?
So this time last year, buyers thought the market's going to come down. And they were reading articles about it going down by 40% and all these incredible predictions that have proven to be completely wrong.
And well, we came off 2018 this time last year, which showed a downturn in the market. 2019, vendors were saying, I'm not sure I want to sell for these lower prices. Buyers are sort of getting very excited about the possibility of buying things for less, seeing a downward slide. Volume was down.
Massively.
Confidence was down.
Huge,
The inquiry into the banks was happening.
We had an election coming.
Thinking that Labor's going to get in with their policies, which were not particularly favourable for property. And everybody was just...
And the lending legislation, which after the first two things, the Royal Commission and the bank and the election, which are great, but the legislative changes that happened around July last year, in my opinion, have been the biggest driver to the market.
Well, that's how it's changed. But a year ago, there was really such a lack of confidence, and the clearance rates were, what, 50, 60%?
It was probably
sometimes
50,
less.
55, and some people weren't reporting the past ins.
Okay, so now let's fast forward. Let's go to fast forward 12 months later. Here we sit now, late February 2020. What's happening now? What's the climate like in the real estate world?
The clearance rate across the board on the weekend was 80%. I think we were about 95, so it was pretty good.
That's right.
Just multiple bidders, above reserve, new. I mean, I think we're back at the benchmark of the prices that were set in the middle of 2017. I mean, just as we get the results through our WhatsApp group on the Saturday and Sunday, as they come live through the auction to keep us up to date exactly what's happening in there now, you sometimes look and go, is that right? You put an extra number in there, or is you put the wrong number? And that was what it was like in 2017. And certainly the level of confidence and buyer excitement and the thirst for real estate is just back.
It's very different. It really is, like you say, 180, polar opposite. And let's talk a little bit about what's happening in Bentleigh. Firstly, we're now celebrating our second year birthday in just a few years' day.
Just yesterday.
Yesterday. So it was our second year birthday. So happy birthday. 2 years now in Centre Road.
Quick.
It's gone really quick. We've got a few new additions to our team. But the core team, your support team, Jared, Steph, John, all there, pumping away, doing their thing. And Ben, of course. Ben,
and also we've got a new
how could I forget you? How long has Ben been with us for now?
This is 9th year, I think, with us. So I got to remember
young
him.
Man, fantastic.
And we've got a new guy put on, Eagle, which I'm very excited about.
Yes, very good indeed.
Another Russian in the Gary P network.
Why not?
Why not? We love the Russians.
Yeah, bring them in.
We love that community.
Russian to list and Russian to sell, we hope.
Hopefully we get him on GPTV in the next couple of months.
Why not? Let's get him on there and let's bring him in. Now, we talk about some of the results. There's so many across the board. We had, I think, 27 out of 29.
26 out of 28.
26 out of 28. Massive number. And, we could sit here and go on for an hour, but let's try to condense a little bit. I think we're going to try to keep this around or under 10 minutes if we can.
Sure.
Let's talk about some of the things that we've sold, because there have been some incredible results.
Well, you mentioned the 2-year birthday. So we sold 5 Maud Street, Ormond on the weekend, and the buyer doesn't want the price all over the internet, but we can tell you it was well over $2.25 million. I think they'll be fine. There was 100 people plus in the crowd. They know what the price went for. But interestingly, in the 2 years since we've moved to Centre Road Bentleigh, we've sold the 3 highest under the hammer auction sales in Ormond.
Wow,
we had one in Lillamere Road, we had one in Wimmera Street, and we had now on the weekend in Maud Street, all well over $2 million. And first very grateful to those owners to have the opportunity to represent such quality real estate, but sort of shows our expertise, certainly in that top end. And 2.25, $2.5 million is a lot of money in Ormond, but it seems to be quite a common price point in East Brighton and Caulfield South and Elsternwick, which we have a lot of presence in.
Yes, we do.
And we're seeing the same buyers cross North Road quite often.
So we can call that an official Ormond boast. We could label and put a stamp on here if our video producers are able to do that. Dermot Angles, they can say official boast and record. We're happy to and also talk about records. I think we got somewhat of a record or acknowledgement at the recent Rate My Agent Award.
We did.
Tell us about what you got. You got a couple of mentions there.
I won't go into my stuff, but personally, it doesn't really matter so much. But certainly, as an agency, as a Gary Peer as a whole, we've won the Agency of the Year with a network of under 20 offices for the whole of Australia.
That was great.
Which I think is a pretty good indication because certainly the competition from New South Wales is strong.
Yeah,
there's a
some
few
strong
very
boutique
strong
groups,
boutique groups in there, so to knock them off.
And the Tasmanians, you know, you can never
Not so
underestimate
much the Tasmanians, but certainly the New South Wales, the Sydney-based agents, there's a few real agents that we aspire to be like, and to knock them off, I think, was a great boost of confidence for the entire team. So well done to everyone at Gary P. I think that was something we should be proud of. And it's independent. It's not like a...
And East Brighton, what was the acknowledgement we got there from
so
East Brighton?
if you have to, Gary, I was the agent of the year for Brighton East last year, so I was very lucky to be entrusted to sell the most homes in that area, and I was reviewed very well by my sellers. So it's certainly an area that I focus on, and there's so much demand from buyers to be in 3187 Brighton East.
So we're selling lots, and we've got happy clients, and we've been recognised as being no one doing that better in East Brighton than us, and you.
That's true.
Thank
you.
Well done. Let's run into some of our sales. That was exciting.
In Maud Street was a terrific auction again under the hammer, multiple bidders, and then an hour later we actually sold, if we're doing any more boasts, but the most expensive side-by-side double-story single garage joint wall townhouse, which is in 42B Whitmere Road. We got 1705 for that, Gary.
Wow.
To give you some idea, a year ago these were selling certainly sub 1.5. Certainly, and this was not in the McKinnon school zone, which we get a bit of a premium for in general, but 1,705,000. It was a beautiful home, and congratulations to the vendors, because I believe they built it and lived there for 5 years, but it wasn't brand new, not in the school zone, and 1,705,000 is a very strong result.
Well, for not quite half the price of that, I did have a very enjoyable auction in Glenorm Avenue, also in McKinnon.
Well done.
Had 3 or 4 bidders for that, and went very strongly, in excess of expectation. I think we sold it for $902,000, so that was another great result. There's no Hill Street Blues for this company, Leon. You've been very busy there. Tell us about the sale or sales there.
Yes, so we've got a boutique block of 6 townhouses in development. We had number 4 for sale first. We happened to have 2 buyers that wanted to buy it on the same day, but one was probably a day behind and being ready financially. So we sold number 4 to that buyer, but we didn't disappoint the other buyer. We said, we've got another one for you. We brought him to the front one, actually got a little bit more money for the front one, had a bit more garden space, and sold that without any advertising. And I'm pleased to say I've actually got number 3 scheduled for auction in the late part of March. So an excellent opportunity in that mid to high 6s range to get into a modern townhouse in East Bentleigh.
The hidden listing. There's a listing behind the listing. In fact, we've got one in Glenorm as well, because we sold Glenorm, we've got another one coming up neighbouring there, which sometimes is the case. So always make sure you be in touch with your local friendly expert real estate agents, because sometimes we've got listings that you might not see online or may not know about.
Let you know what else we have.
Absolutely. Smith Street, Leon, tell us about that.
I mean, Smith Street's such another big, probably sign of how the market's going. So Jan had a vendor that was thinking about selling but not sure. There were some tenants in there. It was kind of difficult to coordinate a normal campaign. So she brought a few people through and sold it for in excess of $2.2 million to one of her clients. So she had a client. She had another investor client. She put an amazing deal together and shows the strength in that Bentleigh McKinnon school zone section. In excess of $2 million, not a big problem.
No, a lot of in excess of $2 million sales now in Bentleigh in that market. I mean, you know, it was so a while ago, and for the old guys, the older people watching, you'd probably be like me thinking $2 million in Bentleigh East, how can that happen? But it's happening plenty. Bignell Road was a fantastic auction. I enjoyed going there.
Sale there at all. A good campaign. And another sign of what the market's doing that wasn't happening a year ago is we had 2 or 3 buyers, but at least one of them had been there 4 times, and we thought they were very likely to bid. And as I pulled up to set up the auction, there was 2 young ladies there, and they were looking. It was raining. They were still standing outside and getting rained on a little bit. They walked in, and 5 minutes later, we got Jan to speak to them in Mandarin, and they said, "Yep, we like it. We might have a go at this."
Yes, that's right.
And sure enough, they bought it. First view, and unfortunately the lady had been there 4 or 5 times with her family, was the underbidder. We didn't have 2 of them to sell, but just a sign of what's happening. People come in auction saying, I'm ready to do a deal.
And of course, right next door, we've got that wonderful school that has the market. And if you wanted to go this week to the market on the 4th, was this the 4th weekend? I think this is I'm not sure if it's the 4th or 5th Saturday, but on the 4th Saturday, the Bentleigh school there has got the farmers market.
Bentleigh East Market in Bignell Road.
In Bignell Road.
Go there, get some fresh eggs
next
for me,
door.
Gary,
I'll get some good eggs for you, some nice orange juice and some lovely cheese, Leon. But before we move on, we've got to go to Normanby Road in Bentleigh East, because there's another result worth talking about.
Absolutely, yeah, and again, terrific work from Jan, who we had an auction. It didn't quite get there on auction day on a Saturday, and by, I think, 11:30 p.m. Monday night, when everyone else was asleep and Jan was in a living room somewhere in Camberwell or Baldwin, I can't remember right now, putting together a very long deal and for much more than the client was offered on auction day. So It just showed that her tenacity, and actually to a different buyer from 2 days earlier.
Really.
So
sometimes, sometimes, and I know this is not something you're going to hear many agents say, but sometimes it's better not to accept the final bid at auction, Leon.
That's right.
And we have very uncharacteristically as agents said to people, to vendors, look, wait, because sometimes waiting gets you more, rather than being in that argument of, oh, you must sell for this price. Sometimes it's better to go the other way around. That's why you need a good real estate agent, Leon, one that can sell well in East Brighton. So let's finish off with Clinton Street.
Sure, and I'm really happy to finish off on this one. There's a lovely family that we've sort of known for years and years. My dad actually knew the owner when he was a bit younger. They used to do Russian trivia sports together.
Of course.
Of course. Anyway, but this guy's built 2 really lovely townhouses, and he's going to live in one, and we're selling the other.
East Brighton is where it's all happening, and he's as good as you're going to find anywhere in the world in selling at East Brighton, because you're actually doing the most there.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big wrap for this February edition. There's so much going on, so much happening in Bentleigh, and certainly when we talk about Bentleigh, we talk about Bentleigh East, McKinnon, Ormond, East Brighton. They're all areas, of course, that you seem to have a specialty in. But then, then again, if you know Leon and you want to do business with him, under our network, you can just go and sell anywhere. And I know you're selling stuff in Caulfield still, and St Kilda and Elswick and all over the place. There's so much going on at Gary Peer & Associates. It's an exciting time to be a buyer, because you've got some choice. We're up in terms of our stock levels. Melbourne-wide, I understand, only up about 6%, but we're up about 20% or a bit over 20%, which is great. And if you're a seller, there's plenty of buyers out there. So everybody wins in a market where there's lots happening, and we are certainly enjoying a time of prosperity and a time of great results at Gary Peer & Associates. That's a big wrap on the Bentleigh Report. Anything else you want to add, Leon?
Just want to get back to the office and call people, because it's all happening. It's not the time to waste time.
Exactly
it's time
right.
to get on the phones and help people buy and sell homes.
Get back there, do your deals, and we'll look forward to keeping our viewers in touch at the end of March, again, with a big wrap on the Bentleigh Report. I'm Gary Peer.
I'm Leon Guzenfitter.
See you next time. Thank you.